What?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. We'll highlight all that. Don't you worry.
I'm just
But of
saying,
course,
you gotta remind people.
Subscribe right now.
Subscribe.
subscribe. Of course.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Should I do it? Should I do the?
I was gonna say, if you don't do it, I'm making you restart the recording.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Get in the Hole. I'm going to be very calm and cool and collected instead of being my exciting self, because it's the Masters, and the only way we can talk the entirety of the show is to be nice and calm, as if we're sitting on a beach chair overlooking the pond on 12, looking out to the azaleas and the white willows and the myriad of trees and the freshly cut grass and all that good shit that you get when you get to watch golf. What up, dickheads?
Yo, dickheads, welcome in.
Welcome in to Get in the Hole here, presented by Underground Sports Philadelphia, live from the Underground, a part of Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever you can get your favorite shows. Kyle Bennett sitting in for Ben Piero once again, as well as our boy Ethan up in the corner. This has been a great year so far in the world of golf, only to finally get up to our first major of the year, episode 199. We're getting to the apex point, and what a better way to start all of this than with the first major of the year, the Masters down in Augusta, Georgia. We had a great showing last week at the Augusta National Women's Amateur. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but before we get into the good stuff, we got a ton of shout outs to get to. As we record here on the 7th of April, I understand by the time this episode goes up, it's probably going to be gone, but do want to give a shout out to 47 Brand on their birthday on 4/7 day. While you might not think it is a holiday, they most certainly believe it, and so do we. 4/7 day, link in our description. You can get free shipping when you create an account, and at least for those who are on it right now, 30% off the entire store. Sorry to all those who are missing that. Probably some sick merch being had from us. I know a couple of my friends jumped in on the 4/7 experience. They got one friend got like an Anaheim Ducks hat, another one got a North Stars hat, a couple of some really cool stuff. I'm still debating. I have a Mets shirt in the basket, probably a Brooklyn Dodgers hat is probably going to come out, and I'm debating, like, do I go like wintry stuff? Like, I don't know what I wear to other sporting events. I feel like I never go to basketball games because it's too expensive. I go to hockey games and I wear a jersey, and then like baseball, I feel like I can get like diverse, but like, I don't know. I got to figure out what else to get in my thing. However, I do also have the New York Golf Club TGL hat, which, by the way, KB, I appreciate you rocking yours currently
This bad
on the
boy.
show. That's the most like NPC like hat.
The most
like
Rob Lowe golf hat of all time. I just hope all teams have fun until a Philadelphia team comes in the fold. I am looking at these two NASCAR hats because 47, Steve, I know it's my favorite style. You have your favorite style, which is the cleanup. I love the hitch style.
Yep.
There's these two NASCAR hats, and they've released this whole new run for baseball, college basketball, and NASCAR. It's the Pomona 47 hitch.
Oh, yeah.
It's this like Columbia blue, and it's gorgeous. And then there's the black one with just the typical NASCAR logo on it as well. And I talk about this all the time when I do my 47 ad reads, but genuinely, like, their NASCAR merch, nobody beats it. It is the sickest stuff ever. So definitely take advantage of it. And apologies to anybody who won't be able to hear this before 4/7 days over. But genuinely, one of my favorite days of the year is taking advantage of 30% off site wide at 47 Brand, because it's my go-to hat brand.
Not for nothing, if you aren't purchasing the Dale Earnhardt Budweiser collab hats, those are just like
It's so great.
Those are just like easily the goats of the industry. Oh, also, it is truly the goat of NASCAR. So how can you not want to vibe with it? I love the player hats though.
They're so cool.
The Roscoe hitch hats, those are really cool too. I mean, I wanted to get a T-shirt that was Liverpool themed, but they don't only have hats in the store. So this is my.
They just got those
my-
back in stock too. The Liverpool hats are newly back in stock.
Gonna have to get on that. Oh, dude, the Ross Chastain Bush Light hat. Throw me in that thing like ASAP.
Dude, we talk about it all the time, but genuinely, I think next year, when we have the applicable time to do it, we will make it to a NASCAR event just as fans.
We're absolutely going to do this. Like there's no.
Oh, I'm going to the one in New Hampshire.
Let's
Like
go.
September.
Dude,
Yeah.
I want to go back. Ever since I went to Talladega, it was so absolutely incredible. But as we were
When
saying,
you met Michael Jordan.
yes, when I shook Michael Jordan's gigantic hand, the thing was like down my arm. It was like insane. But the warm weather is here, and while we are taking advantage of the 4-7 day, you could still take advantage of some awesome looking apparel from 47 brand. Especially now with the golf season coming around, we have their vacation, rangefinder, mulligan, milkwood styles, anything from your favorite MLB teams. And of course, they are the exclusive home of your TGL headwear. Use the link in our description for shop everything related to the game of golf and get free shipping on all orders with our partners at 47 brand. Use that link in our description and get ready to hit the course, the range, or the clubhouse with 47 brand. Also want to run another little ad read for you guys. Paramount Plus, it's finally time to shout them out. We've been waiting for weeks. The golf world's been waiting. Rounds 3 and 4 coverage of the Masters streaming on Paramount Plus with Showtime plan. You can watch some of the best players in the world tee it up at one of the most iconic golf courses in the world at Augusta National Golf Club, who will be crowned your 2025 Masters champion. I have news for you. I know who it's going to be, but you got to wait until the end of the show to find out who it will be.
And luckily for the people listening right now, if you're a student, by the time you're listening, you still have one more day to get 50% off any Paramount Plus deal right now. Use the link. Get 50% off any deal. That includes Paramount Plus with Showtime. You get 50% off if you're a student. So use that link in the description to sign up for Paramount Plus.
You know, we're kind of like the talking ad reads right now because we're gonna launch. We're gonna hard launch this show with another one. It's time for the shout outs of the week as we launch off this Masters episode 199 of Get in the Hole. We lead it off with our shout outs of the week presented by Acorn Hills, bringing conservation through clothing. Started out of a dorm room in Western PA. They're dedicated to supporting environmental efforts by offering biodegradable clothing tags, packaging, recycled materials, you name it. They are all about our great land. For every $1 spent, the National Forest Foundation will plant a seedling to promote afforestation in the US of A. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but actually a lot of the efforts that have gone through to for the National Forest Foundation, part of it actually happened while we talk about the California wildfires a lot. Hurricane Helene that happened down in Augusta, Georgia, a lot of damage done to the Augusta National Golf Course. Thankfully, according to Chairman Fred Ridley, things plan to be played the same way as it always has. Michael Kim was tweeting about it yesterday. Course is immaculate. It's incredible. It always is. But you're going to see a few less trees than you're used to. A lot of fallen trees, which is kind of, it takes away from the beauty of the golf course, but it's still Augusta National. They're still going to make it look absolutely tremendous. So check out Acorn Hills. Be sure to use code GITH15. It's Getting the Hole 15 for 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com. Again, GITH15 for 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com, and look your best from the ground up. We lead the show with a big shout out to Brian Harmon. He won at the Valero Texas Open, shot back-to-back rounds in the mid-60s, followed it up with a 3-over performance in the final 2 days. A rough go of things late on Sunday, but still managed to edge the field by a total of 3 strokes. He wins his second event of the last calendar year. A big win for Brian Harmon, especially as we go into Masters Week, where we'll talk about it more on the other side. We're all about illusions on the show today. There's been a really big advantage for lefties over the last few years at Augusta National. Brian Harmon very well might be a big benefactor of this advantage, and this win at the Valero, oddly enough, second straight left-handed winner of an event. It's the first time that's happened in over 35 years, believe it or not. Akshay won it last year, and now Brian Harmon this year. So a big win for Harmon. We'll go into Masters Week hoping to get pretty sharp as he leads into a pretty great week.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You want to take the next one?
Yeah. Shout out to
Don't botch this one.
Carla Bernat Escuder.
There you go.
Let's go. Who won the Augusta National Women's Amateur this past weekend, firing a -12 week to win the event. The Spaniard, who plays at Kansas State, edged out 16-year-old phenom Asterisk Tally,
Greatest name ever.
2024 champ / FSU Seminole Lottie Wode.
Yeah. What a first of all, Asterisk Tally is one of the greatest names of all
Can
time.
we get her on this show somehow?
We're gonna work on making that happen.
Right.
I want to get her parents on the show and figure out why you would name your daughter that. But
That's
I give them a lot of credit.
incredible. Because
That's-
if there was ever like a prominence for golf trading cards or like signatures and autographs,
That'd be one of them.
the fact that she could just sign it with an asterisk is the most badass. She could literally do asterisk line. That's the coolest signature of all time.
Now, question: would you do the asterisk and then a straight line, or like you probably do like a line like slash almost?
Do you slash through the asterisk?
Ooh,
That might be the move.
that's like the signature play.
That's
I
the,
have to love
that's
that
the
idea.
signature. Asterisk Tally, if you need a way to sign anything, we've got you.
We're gonna become calligraphers just so we can make sure that she gets her flowers.
One of the best
for the signing.
names of all time, joining lacrosse superstar Mustang Sally.
That's actually incredible too. But congrats to Carla, big win for the Spaniards. I believe she's one of the first Spaniards to ever win this event. She got big shout outs from John Rahm, Sergio Garcia, and a few other big time Spaniards in the game. So that's great for the country. Great showing the international golf game. And Lottie Wode, I believe, I think she's German. I could be wrong there. But lots of great talent at the Augusta National Women's Amateur this past week. Lottie Wode played great. We're gonna hear Megagane very soon. She plays at Stanford. She's like I saw her play this event when she was, I think, a 17-year-old just before she committed to college, but she hadn't attended yet. And I was blown away by how talented these girls are. They are incredible, and the LPGA has got a lot of great talent coming in very shortly.
Lottie Wode is from England.
Damn it! I should have known Lottie. That would make sense. She gives German vibes. Want to give a shout out to Angel Cabrera. This is one of the coolest stories, maybe like of all time. So the former Masters champion, Angel Cabrera, he won the James Hardy Invitational on the senior tour. It was his first ever start on the Champions Tour, and of course, he earns the win. If you might remember that name, Angel Cabrera was in prison for two years almost, a little more than that. I don't know what the crime was. Probably something related to money laundering or fraud. He ended up getting released from prison in August 2023. Had committed himself to getting ready to get back on the golf course. Came back and won this week. Oddly enough, the week before he now tees it up at Augusta for the first time since 2021. A really cool story. Also, the jokes kind of write themselves. He won this week with an Odyssey jailbird putter.
So El Pato, his nickname, which is Spanish for the duck, was arrested in January 2021 in Rio de Janeiro as a result of Interpol issuing a red notice due to him having left Argentina without authorization following the start of a trial where he was facing a number of criminal charges, including assault, theft, and illegal intimidation. He remained in Brazilian prison until June 2021, when his extradition to Argentina was completed. In July 2021, he was convicted and sentenced to 2 years in prison. November 2022, he was convicted of a second assault and sentenced to an additional 2 years and 4 months in prison. He was released on August 4th, 2023. Cabrera was cleared to play in PGA Tour sanctioned events in December of 2023.
That's insane. What a story.
What a wild duck.
Dare I say Angel Cabrera to make the cut this week? Playing for his livelihood at this point? I mean,
Golly.
I mean, look, hey. The guy was released and literally left and said, "I'm gonna train the next year and a half to go play the senior tour." And what does he do? He just blows everyone else out of the water. Like the only two old guys in this tournament who could possibly make the cut would be Angel Cabrera or Bernard Langer, who's now playing in his last ever Masters. By the way, shout out to Bernard Langer for that one too. What a incredible career. He's one of the all-time winners on the European Tour. He's one of the all-time winners on the Champions Tour. I think he has like 85 combined wins between the European Tour and the Senior Tour. So good on him.
Yeah. I saw Angel Cabrera's name being posted everywhere this week, and I was like, that's a name I haven't heard in quite some time.
Yeah,
felt like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Speaking of old heads, I want to go back to Carla for a minute. After she won, Jose Maria Olazabal was at the 18 green, and she approached him and accidentally called her Jose Lorazabal. And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry that I called you the wrong name. Like, I like you're one of the greatest Spanish golfers of all time." And I just totally like missed that one.
That's incredible.
Oh man! Shout out to Matt McNeely. This is an underrated storyline. We don't talk about the OWGR whatsoever anymore. Now that the LIV guys have gone, they don't get their points. And like, you could say what you will about this, call it unofficial or not, but found it really interesting. I was looking at the World Golf rankings today after a tweet by my friend Nosferatu, who is a well-known golf aficionado on the Twitterverse, always pointing out things in the OWGR. Matt McNeely with a third place finish at the Valero is now the number 10 ranked golfer in the world. I did not know this. I didn't even think of this. If you look at the world top 10, well, first of all, Bryson's currently at 19th. He's the second highest rated LIV golfer, only behind Tyrrell Hatton, who's a spot ahead of him. And John Rahm has completely fallen off. He's back. He's all the way down into the 90s on this list. But you look at like the top 5 golfers in the world, like you understand it's Scotty, it's Rory, Xander, Colin, and Oberg. But then you go down to Hideki. Russell Henley is currently 7th in the world. JT's 8th, Hovland 9, Mavs at 10. I'm like, this is it's crazy to think how much of a change over the last year and a half to 2 years the top 20 golfers in the world has turned over. But very deserving for Matt McNeely. He's been on absolute fire this year so far. He's missed 2 cuts at the Players in the Arnold Palmer, but he's got a runner-up finish at the Genesis, a top 10 at the Waste Management, top 10 at the Century. He won the RSM to close out the fall series, and then finished 3rd, of course, this week at the Valero. So good for Mav getting all the way up to the top 10 in the world.
I have 2 shout outs before we get to the birthday shout outs. It's not as lengthy as last week. It's very fun stuff. My first shout out is courtesy of Nuclear Golf. Steve, tell me if I should just book my trip now. Okay. This person posted it. I got 2 tickets for the 2025 Masters for Christmas, both top hospitality admissions. The person that got them for me didn't realize it was going to be on the same day as my wedding. If you are interested, I'm looking for someone to take my place. It's at St. Michael's Church in Orlando at 3 p.m. The bride's name is Nicole. She's 5'4", about 115 pounds, has cannons, and is a good cook, too. She'll be the one in the white dress.
Has cannons might be the most out-of-pocket comment. I mean, like it's a compliment to your wife, but mother of God. Yeah, bro, she got cannons.
I might have to make my way down to Orlando. And my other shout out here, it might be one of the greatest translators I've ever seen, as anybody knows in sports, for players who are not English first speaking athletes. They have the translators that work for the team. Isak Paredes, that plays for the Houston Astros, Steve. I'm going to send this picture in the group chat so you guys can see his translator, because Isak's translator is a big boy, and he might be one of my new favorite people on planet Earth.
Have you heard the whole thing about how like Lionel Messi's oh my
Ow.
god,
Oh,
He is a big
no.
boy. You ain't never seen that big boy get on the roof.
that guy's bigger than beef.
He's huge.
That guy's bigger than Barstool beef.
He's huge.
Head
It's
golf professional.
wild.
Head golf
He's
professional.
like that
That's
boy.
insane.
That boy's beefy and he's got a dumper.
Jesus H Christ. Jesus.
What a guy.
Wow.
I am also going to send you this because if we ever do resurrect Get in the Bowl, which I think we fully should, you're gonna need to get this timepiece, Steve.
Timepiece?
I just sent it in the group chat. We'll put it up in post in a
I
clip.
ain't got time for this shit.
what a watch.
That's freaking incredible. My grandpa used to always tell me if you want to have a good time, you have to have a good watch.
It's valid.
It's very valid. Birthday shout outs of the week, celebrating his 32nd birthday. I want to give a shout out to the Burger himself, Daniel Berger. He booked another big trip to Augusta National this week. It's first since 2022. He's battled a lot of injuries over the last few years, but he's had quite a season so far. 7 top 20s dating back to the beginning of the fall series in October. He's finished in the top 30 in each of his last 6 events. Some other birthdays this week: Stuart Hagstad, the notable amateur who always plays Augusta National, but is more than happy to keep his finance job in Manhattan. He turns 34 on Thursday. Russell Henley, he turns 36 on Saturday. And Davis Love, the longtime legend and U.S. Ryder Cup co-captain coming up soon, turns 61 years old. Sorry, vice captain, I should say. Turns 61 on Sunday. We're going to take a short break. Or should we take a break?
I was also going to say today, as we
Sure.
record this, LPGA superstar Suzanne Peterson, 44th birthday.
Good for her. Yeah, unfortunately, the website that I use clearly misses some folks for the birthday shout out. So that's on me.
Not a
But-
big birthday day today.
No, it's not. Do we need to go down the rabbit hole and see what historical events occurred on April 7th?
I think the most famous birthday today is Rondé Barber.
Pretty cool. Have I ever told you the story about how my sister inadvertently knows Tiki Barber?
No.
So I was talking about this in my group chat the other day. We're talking about like how closely related are we to like historical figures? And my one friend Mike, his best friend's father, his brother, so her uncle, is Chris Angel. And so I know Chris Angel. I've played cornhole with Chris Angel and I beat him multiple times. Me and Mike.
That's something you need to put on your resume.
I've beaten Chris Angel and his partner was Flava Flav.
That's something we have in common. We both
Flava Flav.
He's the nicest guy ever.
He is. He's incredible. But apparently they hate to lose. So and I'm nasty at cornhole. So I played them like 4 times on the 4th of July last year because I went to Mike's friend's family barbecue. And so Chris and Flav were there. We were dueling it out. But like we're talking about like all these things. And Mike and my friend Mike goes, "Oh, like technically because you know Chris, you're 2 away from Donald Trump because Chris knows Trump." And I'm like, "Oh, well, like I'm also 2 away from like Jackie Robinson because my father's aunt, her husband was like a security guard for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and she used to make pasta on Sundays for Jackie Robinson, Sandy Koufax, Duke Schneider, and Don Drysdale. Like
What
fucking
the hell?
crazy to think of this. So like we're talking about like, oh, like who's your second over? And my sister, her best friend from high school is dating this guy. It's kind of like, I think his name's like Brandon, and he plays football at Princeton. And she's like, "Oh, like I'm meeting his parents for the first time. Can you come with me to Princeton?" She's like, "I'm going all the way to Princeton for a football game." Yeah, sure, why not? So she goes. She's like, maybe I'll find a cute New Jersey Princeton Ivy League boy. Well, it turns out, little did she realize, this kid is Tiki Barber's son. And so my sister walks up, and Tiki Barber is there, shakes her hand, and goes, "Hi, I'm Tiki." And she's like, she has no idea who the fuck this guy is. She calls me and she goes, "Do you know a Tiki Barber?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
She's like, I'm like, he played for the Giants. She's like, oh, I'm sitting next to him watching his son play football because it's my friend Maggie's boyfriend's dad. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's insane.
So my sister inadvertently, without even realizing it, was sitting next to future Hall of Famer Tiki Barber.
Steve, all I can think of now is you just need to say the line from Madagascar.
All hail the New York Giants. Let's go meet the pansies.
One of the most deep cut moments of this podcast history.
Ethan, did you know this that Sacha Baron Cohen is King Julian?
No, I didn't.
That's it, like, and you know what? Everyone shat on me in the comments on TikTok. They're like, "Oh, how do you not know?" Well, sorry, I was 7 when the movie came out, and Ethan was even younger than me. The cast of this movie, like, before we take a break here, like, we got to talk about how amazing it is. So Sacha Baron Cohen plays King Julian. Chris Rock is Marty the zebra. David Schwimmer is Melman the giraffe who's like scared of everything. Ben Stiller is of course Alex. Skipper's played by Tom McGrath, who you might not know Tom McGrath, but he was also in Megamind, Boss Baby, and a few other DreamWorks films. He's like an all-time guy. Andy Richter is Mort. Cedric the Entertainer is Maurice. Bob Saget is also I think he's one of the monkeys, if I'm not wrong.
Maybe.
And Jada Pinkett Smith plays Gloria.
Like,
oh my God.
Yeah,
there's more in there.
That showcases the range because Ben Stiller voiced an animated lion and also created Severance.
And I believe former chairman of Disney, Jeffrey Katzenberg, plays like Rico. But like, come on. Also, the penguins of Madagascar are just the
best.
They're easily the funniest character in the entire show.
The best.
Kowalski
analysis.
We're gonna dig a tunnel mostly from spoons.
Rico, flashlight.
He goes, we're out of shovels. He's like, oh, we need more plastic spoons.
You didn't see anything.
Right?
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Oh my God. What's the one quote? What's the one? Oh my God. There's one quote. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Kowalski, progress report. We're only 500 feet from the main sewer line. And the bad news, we've broken our last shovel. Right, Rico, you're on litter patrol. We need shovels and find more popsicle sticks. We don't want to risk another cave-in. And me, Skipper, I want you to look cute and cuddly, Private.
We just remastered the greatest clip in this show's history.
Oh my Christ!
This is Steve's version.
Remix. We're gonna take a short break. On the other side, brand new segment featuring our boy Ethan. We'll preview the Masters, and we have a bunch of betting and draft day analysis straight from Augusta National. You don't want to miss it. We will be right back here on Get in the Hole. KB, Ethan, your boy Steve-O. We will be right back.
Get in the Hole is brought to you by PHI Apparel Company, our incredible merch partners. PHI Apparel Co. provides unique designs and high-quality clothing from t-shirts to hoodies for every golfer around. With their original designs for all, there's no doubt you'll stand out on the course, the driving range, or at the 19th hole. Go to phiapparel.co and use code UNDERGROUND at checkout for 10% off any order. That's code UNDERGROUND at phiapparel.co and grab exclusive Get in the Hole podcast merch and support your favorite golfers.
Fellas, we back, and we back with a vengeance. Want to bring in our boy Ethan, brand new segment here on the show. The top 10 list. You've seen David Letterman do it, and we're doing it now. Masters edition. First time on this show. Ethan, the top 10 things at Augusta National. What is the category for this segment?
All right, so the category for this segment is things that are banned at Augusta National.
I'm dying to know what's the craziest thing on this list, and I hope it's something like those like dumb laws that you have. Like I know like you're from Mass, like the stupid Puritan laws that they have, or like how in Alaska it's unfair to the wolves if you kill wolves from a chopper overhead. That's like an actual law that Sarah Palin like wrote into the law of Alaska. So yeah, Ethan, please, the top 10 from the Masters, things you cannot bring in to Augusta National.
All right, so at number 10, we have beverage containers and coolers. Sorry, but the Masters isn't a BYOB kind of event.
Shame.
It's even if your beverage is just sparkling water. Number 9, we have bags, backpacks, and purses. It's the Masters, not your week-long vacation to Bermuda. Weapons of any kind.
I hope so.
The only thing you're supposed to be slicing is your tee shot, not the rules official after it lands on the edge of a bunker. Number 7, we have ladders, pyroscopes, and selfie sticks. You're gonna have to keep your feet on the ground with the rest of us. Also, who has a pyroscope? Number 6, we have golf shoes with metal spikes. Metal spikes at the Masters is just like bare feet on asphalt in a 110-degree sunny day in the summer. It shouldn't happen.
By the way, I want to acknowledge this too. Is it wrong to wear golf shoes to a golf event if you're not playing in the field?
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
showed up to the Northern Trust in New Jersey with Johnny wearing golf shoes, and some old fart looked at me and said, "Oh, are you teeing it up today?" Yeah, fuck you,
gotta
dude.
wear
What's wrong with me wearing
That's-
golf shoes in the cars? Please,
All right.
proceed.
Number 5, we have cameras on tournament days. Augusta found that the only thing more distracting than a bad tee shot is 500 people taking a picture of it.
There you go.
Number 4, we have chairs with pointed ends or armrests. No armrests are allowed on the course because if the players can't rest, neither can you.
True.
Number 3, we have alcoholic beverages. Again, no BYOB, just like every golf course. You'll just spend a ton of money in the clubhouse. Number 2, we have flags, banners, and signs. Banners are banned because nothing says serious golf fan like an unfurling a 20-foot sheet during a tee shot. And then number 1, of course, as you all know, it's cell phones. Without your phone, you'll have a more authentic golf experience, stressed out for 5 hours, disconnected from the world.
I've been told that apparently it's like an incredibly like relaxing experience.
Really?
Yeah. So a friend of
I don't
mine
know.
went-
I know a ton of people that are just like addicted to their phone, and the second it's like turns off, they just start like itching.
You know, it's fun because the experience that I've been told from people who have went is that my friend goes and he turns to his 2 friends. He goes, "All right, guys, we're gonna meet up at this tree in 3 hours." First of all, no one's got to watch. So how the fuck do you know in 3 hours now? Also, there's 90,000 trees on this property.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, this tree by the driving range." Like, no one knows what the tree is. Then you're standing there because you're on time and everyone else is late, and like you have no means of communication from anybody. Also, my wife has made fun of me. I still to this day do not know her phone number. I have it.
What?
I have it on speed dial. I do not know it offhand because I am hooked to my phone and never have to look at it because I could just search her up. She told me if we ever went to the Masters that she would never be able to find me because while they have the phones on the golf course that you could utilize, you got to plug in the phone numbers. And so she's like, "I'm going to write a card one day with all the key phone numbers that you need."
Yeah, just in case of an emergency.
Ethan, tremendous segment.
Well
absolutely
done.
love it. The comedic genius that goes into all of those were absolutely perfect. You fucking
you.
nailed it. I love it. Great stuff. We need a sponsor for this that segment, by the way. We're gonna make it happen. I think we're gonna do this for every major and every like big time event that we have or alternatively we can make it really fucking fun and have you do it for like the Barracuda Championship and just be like find us things about this golf course in the middle of Kentucky.
That'd be fun.
That would be absolutely epic. Let's get into our preview of the Masters here. I mentioned this lefty advantage before we started the show. Luke Curdanine for Golf Channel or Golf Digest was talking about this earlier, and it's funny. I know he isn't here to defend himself, but I need to give Ben a bit of grief. I mentioned this I think 2 years ago on the show, or maybe it was last year, and he was like, "Oh no, like there's no lefty advantage or anything." Well, there's a whole segment that's come out about the advantages that lefties have on this golf course. Now, a little bit of golf course history for all of you people. The traditional way golfers used to play the game back when the persimmon wood was a thing, the true wooden drivers or woods, was they would hit draws. Now, draws, of course, mean that the ball, if you're a righty, goes right to left and curves in that way. If you're a lefty, it would go left to right. The reason why is because at the time, a draw produced less backspin on your shot, which allowed the ball to roll further forward off the tee. So players used to play a draw much more often. However, at Augusta National, one of the premier things that you see at the golf course, there's 7 dogleg lefts on the course. And the way the trees are aligned, while the golf course doesn't look incredibly difficult because there's no rough anywhere, the fascinating thing is the way the hills are formed and the way the way everything contours out. A fade is actually a lot more of a better play for just about everybody on the course. However, for your run-of-the-mill lefty, their fade plays the same way as a right-hander's draw. So what happens? Now with brand new clubs, the fade also produces less backspin. The ball travels further. And if you've noticed, in each of the last 5 Masters tournaments, all of the lefties, now there's only ever like 4 or 5 lefties in a tournament. Every single lefty last year on, I believe it's the 13th hole, or it's the 12th hole downhill, and the 15th par 5, attack the green or attack the hole with a driver. Every single right-handed player laid up with either a 7-wood, a 3-wood, or a 2-iron. That's a 25-yard difference on average. Phil Mickelson outdrove the field on those holes by over 15 yards. At 50 years old, Phil Mickelson outdriving everybody because playing the baby fade for a lefty is more valuable than the righties. You've seen a lot of success in the past. Brian Harmon has finished top 20 at this event before. Of course, Phil finished second 2 years ago. Akshay Bhatia is a sneaky play here. He's teeing it up in his second ever Masters tournament last year. Didn't quite go his way. He didn't have a lot of time to prep. He went straight from the Valero to the event. But Akshay Bhatia could be a sneaky play. Bobby McIntyre, another lefty in the field. The lefties have a pretty interesting advantage. And now with the way the trees are formed, because some of the trees that are broken and have split and are kind of protruding, are making it a little bit harder for some of the right-handed players to approach holes with a driver. And it's making it very hard for them to play a traditional fade, which is what guys want to play nowadays in the game. So very, very fascinating little tidbit. If you want to give any input on that or thoughts, that's my like weird nerd out moment of the week.
That's Stevie's golf nerd talk right there.
I'm a freaking weirdo, but I love it all the same. And
all that was going through my head as you were explaining that was just the Bill Nye the Science Guy theme song because it was way over my pay grade.
Bill. National Beer Day today. We're gonna have to crack open a beer probably on this show now. I'll see if I have. Oh, I forgot. I never got Kenny's when I went to Philadelphia.
I thought of that when we were leaving.
Wow, that's just absolutely unfortunate. It's okay. I will make it happen next time. Oh my God. Some other things to expect at Augusta this year. So we watched the Augusta Women's National Amateur last week. Saw a couple of interesting tidbits from the golf course. First of all, like I said, Hurricane Helene really did damage to the course. They ended up actually reseeding 4 of the greens, including the 16th. However, according to practice rounds from Rory McIlroy and Michael Kim, the greens are playing basically the exact same as they ever have been. So we're not going to see anything different. They were just simply reseeded and returfed as they usually are. But the tree damage is interesting because Rory actually pointed out something on a lot of the holes as it gets darker in the day. There's less shadows on some of the greens, which makes it a lot easier to read putts. Will that produce a lot of big swings? It might not. However, a lot of those holes that were reseeded and a lot of the tree damage came on the back 9, which might be very compelling for a late Sunday run if guys are able to see the ball a little bit better putting on those big-time greens on 16, 17, 18, even 15, where, again, now with the water, now with the trees that have been damaged or taken out, guys can approach it more driver, and laying up doesn't really give you a disadvantage on that hole. Some other stuff as well. A few holes, according to some of the players at the women's amateur, based on the way that the trees were damaged, actually makes some holes play a little more approachable, where you can get a little more creative with things. However, scoring averages did not change year over year for the women's amateur. Probably won't do the same as well for the PGA. You'll probably see guys playing the same sort of way straight up. Michael Kim, again, a great follow, as I always mention on this show. He's doing a day-by-day diary of his experiences at Augusta National, and I'll read you what he put out on Twitter just yesterday. He put out a whole soliloquy basically about what his experience was showing up to the golf course. He said, and he just posted his Monday one, which was great. Augusta diaries from Sunday. Got to Augusta National around 1 p.m., drove through Magnolia Lane. The drive is so cool, and it never gets old knowing you're there to play the Masters. I drove super slow to take it all in. Went to the register, got my courtesy car, and grabbed lunch at the clubhouse. Michael Kim also has officially given us the rankings of each of the sandwiches at Augusta National. The pimento cheese was a 7 out of 10. The egg sandwich was 7.5 out of 10. And the barbecue pork was an 8.5 out of 10. That's the definitive ranking from the eyes of Michael Kim. Also said the clam chowder was an easy 9 out of 10. He went to the pro shop. He got some goodies. He played the front 9 with Johnny Vegas. He said, quote, greens were firm like Sunday firm, but they weren't that fast. I think they're getting them ready for the rain. Hit some nice shots, hit some so-so shots, but the greens are pretty crazy. There has been some rain in the forecast. It rained a little bit this morning. There is a little more expected later on in the week. So it should be interesting to see how the ball lays up in these conditions. He said, Augusta super hilly. Oh my God. And then on his post on Monday, which I'm reading today, I have not read any of this yet. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do anything today, but the rain stayed away for a while, so I was actually able to practice a bit. Had an omelet for breakfast, some great toast. Said it was an 8 out of 5 out of 10. The Augusta National courtesy staff and their clubhouse staff are tremendous with the food. His coach was there. He was able to see some of the misses that he'd been dealing with over the last couple of weeks. Action was good. Felt like his club face was slightly open. Cool. Short game area is so good here on the tournament range. The greens are contoured similar to the greens on the course. So I was able to get some good work done. Don't like it when practice areas don't match the course style. The bunkers feel slightly different than other courses. That they're heavy and sticky, and the ball comes off slower. Now, I don't know if you know this, but they actually don't use sand in the bunkers at Augusta National. They use calcium. It makes it more white, or like quartzite they use, whatever it is. It makes the sand look more white than traditional bunkers that are more so brown. He says that the greens aren't that fast yet, but they are healthy. He isn't sure what the conditions will be like when the tournament begins, but he does know from the last time the practice days can be very different from the tournament days. Also said the grouper sandwich at the clubhouse was an easy 9 out of 10. So things look pretty interesting.
That like low key reminds me, like with you saying like the calcium stuff, like when I learned in November when I did the Citizens Bank Park tour, that the dirt they use at Citizens Bank Park is volcanic ash.
That's actually sick,
right? I love learning those types of things.
The LA Times, what is this? For 5 decades, Augusta National has filled its 44 bunkers with the brilliant white grains produced near the 3-stoplight town of Spruce Pine. They ship 4,000 tons of sand from a tiny community tucked in the Blue Ridge Mountains to an exclusive golf course in the middle of Augusta, Georgia. And it is, in fact, what is it? They're called, where is this word? Damn, great podcasting from Big Steve. Brightest sand in the world. Yeah, we already know this. Known in the industry as SP55, that chalk white trap filler is granulated quartz. Although coveted in the golf world as merely a waste product of a far more valuable spruce pine resource, a material that is competing multinational corporations in this Western North Carolina town, guarding their trade secrets with Wonka-like fervor. Actually insane how they just get it from a small town in North Carolina. The materials total impurities are measured in parts per billions, and some of these materials are less than 50 parts per billion, said Alex Glover, retired head geologist for the Feldspar Corporation. That's hugely pure quartz. Those materials can cost as much as $20,000 per ton. The quartz they use is $40 to $50 per ton.
Jeez.
Which is like actually so funny to think like how it's so cheap, but it makes it look so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it just makes that style of golf so much more fascinating, which I think is just an absolute sick way of going about it. So that's all the news that I have for Augusta National this week. We don't have, and look, when you play this event year over year, you know the guys who are going to succeed on it. You know the guys who are going to play poorly on it. It's the guys who consistently have played their absolute best golf over the last few months, who always tend to succeed on this course. I do have one thing that's interesting here before we get into our next subject that I think is fascinating. Greg Ducharme always puts out these posts. He's one of the guys from Sirius XM's A New Breed of Golf. He says that the where are we? My God, more amazing journalism. The last 6 winners of the Masters tournament have a lot of common. Only 2 players in this year's field meet all of the criteria, and the answer might surprise you. I will read these off to you before we get into our next topic. The last 6 winners all had at least 2 top 20s in their 3 Masters starts before winning. Players who meet the criteria are Scotty, Rory, Colin, Rahm, Xander, Hideki, Tommy Fleetwood, Shane Lowry, Will Zalatoris, Cam Smith, Matt Fitzpatrick, Fat Reed, I call him Fat Reed now, Sungjae Im, and Cam Young. The last 6 winners had 1 or more top 13 finishes in their last 3 majors before their Masters win. That narrows the list down to Scotty, Rory, Colin, Xander, Hideki, Rahm, Lowry, Reed, and Sungjae Im. The last 6 winners gained strokes approaching the green in at least 2 of the 3 events prior to the Masters. That narrows down to Scotty, Rory, Colin, Xander, Rahm, Lowry, and Reed. The last 6 winners gained 3+ strokes on approach to the green in at least 1 of 4 events before their win. Now we're down to only 5 names: Scotty, Rory, Colin, Xander, Rahm, and Lowry. The last 6 winners gained strokes around the green in 3 straight events before the Masters. 2 names left: Jon Rahm and Shane Lowry. The last 6 winners gained 1.5 strokes putting in 1 of 3 events before the Masters win. The same 2 names. The only differentiator between Jon Rahm and Shane Lowry, according to Greg Ducharme, the last 6 winners were not members of the LIVGolf Tour. Shane Lowry is going to win the Masters, guys.
I feel great. I feel great.
Just keep that in the back of your heads.
I feel great.
Just keep that in the back of your heads as we do this. Before we get into our beer money picks on National Beer Day, let's do a little draft here. A 3-way between, out of context, pause.
Whoa.
Between me, Ethan, and KB. 3 players, 3 drafted teams. We're going to go based on a curated list. And we're going to figure out who has the best overall team. Snake style draft. Ethan will start, followed by KB and myself, which means I will have 2 picks on the roundabout. Now, we need to have a prize for this game. I think the winner, the last place team should buy the winner an item, like a hat or something of their choice.
Potentially from our friends at Devereux Golf, Steve.
Potentially from our friends at Devereux Golf.
Why
I
don't you
think
tell
that-
our
I think-
Why don't you tell our good friends, as Jim Nance would say, about Devereux Golf?
What an absolutely great segue, I must say. Established in 2013, Devereux Golf is not only a golf brand all about clothes, but they are all about the culture. They're championing inclusivity and accessibility to the game we all love. Their mission is to create a community where everyone feels welcome on and off the golf course with innovative designs and bold storytelling, blending tradition with modernity to inspire a new generation of the golf world. They're more than a brand. They are a movement to make golf a sport for all. And you can get in on the action with Devereux, who just dropped their awesome Masters capsule, some amazing apparel that you can get your hands on, including the little dad hat that says Peachy. Just an absolute perfect add to the collection. You can get 15% off your first order. You use our link in our description and use code WELCOME15. Again, use our link and code WELCOME15 at checkout for 15% off your first order at DevereuxGolf.com. Fellas, let's get into the draft day, shall we? Now, we have a curated list here of courtesy of EasyOfficePools.com, which is like the most perfect name for for something of this caliber, because everybody in the office is clamoring over the Masters.
Yeah, shout out to From the Drop Zone. That
Yes,
sent us
shout
over this.
out to the fellas from the Drop Zone for setting up an awesome pool as well. So you pick from each tiers. So I'll read off I can't even really read off who's in these tiers because there's so many guys. But we'll go tier by tier. There are 6 in total that you choose from. It's roughly the top 10 players in the field ranked tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the remainders in tier 5. Ethan, you lead it off with us. Who is your pick out of tier 1?
I'm taking Rory.
God damn it. I thought he'd fall.
I mean, how could I not take Rory with the first pick? Like,
I thought he'd fall, damn it. KB, who you got?
Dog, I'm going with the defending champ. Give me Big Texas, Scotty Scheffler.
All right, perfect. You guys are setting me up perfectly. I'm really pissed off that I got to pick between Colin Morikawa and Bryson DeChambeau in this category. However, Bryson, when he said it was a par 60, 67, he's only lived up to that hype in one full Masters series, and that was last year. So I don't trust him that much. I'm going to go with Colin for my first round pick, and then for my second pick on the wraparound, I get my pick of the litter for who I like in round 2, and it's a layup for me. I'm going with Shane Lowry.
It's also who I had.
it's also who I had.
Let's go!
Damn it.
Screw you guys! Figure it out!
Oh, how do I access the list again?
Oh my god.
I can read it to you if you want.
Yeah, do you have the list?
Yeah, it's Jordan Spieth, Joe Quinn, Naaman, Victor Hovland.
Pause.
Okay, I know I
Joe
butchered
Quinn
that.
dickhead.
Joe Quinn Neiman, you dickhead.
Joe Quinn, Neiman, Victor
Joaquin
Hovland.
Neiman, Christ.
Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Cantley, Terrell Hatton, Cameron Smith, Will Zalatoris, and Sanjay M.
And Victor Hovland is also in the category.
And Victor Hovland, yeah.
Yeah, don't cheat.
I said Victor Hovland.
Oh,
Run it back.
All right.
I'll take Tommy Fleetwood.
All right. Ethan, back to back. Who you got?
All right. I'm going to take Will Zalatoris
Ooh. Interesting.
and Wyndham Clark.
Okay. All right. So Wyndham is your third round pick. All right. KB, who you got?
I am taking Sahith Theegala, baby.
That's fucking perfect because I'm going to happily take the aforementioned Akshay Bhatia in this category. I should honestly consider Russell Henley in this spot because he's been playing some awe-inspiring golf, but I feel again that lefty advantage I think is very apparent. Also, underrated player is Sergio Garcia in this category. In tier 4, I am going to go with a less popular pick that I don't think either one of you guys will be eyeing. I know exactly who KB is taking here, so I've already written him down. But I'm going to go with Sepp Straka. I found some numbers on Sepp that are like insane. Over the last month, Sepp Straka has been the third best player on the PGA Tour in every statistical output. And when you put him on Augusta National in 100 simulations, he finishes top 10 in this event 37 times. 37% of the time he finished in the top 10. Sepp Straka, give me that man.
Corey Connors.
I already wrote it down. It was the biggest layup pick of all time.
Beautiful stuff there. Just brilliant.
I'm gonna take Brian Harmon.
All right.
Oh,
And
I also goofed because the list of where I picked my players was not in the order of the tier they were in. My tier 3 selection is actually Tony Finau.
Oh, news to me. I didn't.
Sahith
Yes,
Theegala
no
is
problem.
not in tier 3.
Thank you. Thank you for the honesty on that. I appreciate that. Ethan, your final, your second to last pick in tier 5.
I'm gonna take Sahith Theegala.
It's fair.
KB got boned.
A little bit.
Was it already written down?
No, but
No, but I goofed because I was looking at like the picks I made for this pool.
Yeah.
And when they emailed it to me, it was not in order of the tier list they were in for whatever reason. So I thought Sahith Theegala was in tier 3, but Tony
This
Finau was in
freaking guy.
tier 3. Give me Mav.
I knew I felt like you were gonna go there. I wanted Mav. So this is where it's interesting. Like, do I go with the putting contest, or do I'm gonna take a shot in the dark because he has great experience. I'm gonna go with Patrick Reed, even though I don't like him as a person. I'm compelled to go with Reed solely on the backbone that he has a ton of experience at this golf course. My tier 6 pick, my final pick, a whole slew of guys that I can pick from. I'm just gonna go one of the guys top of the board. I'm gonna go with JJ Spawn. My last pick.
My last pick is Keegan Bradley.
And finally, the end of the draft. Ethan, Mr. Irrelevant, who is probably going to be the best player in the field this week. Who's it going to be?
It's gonna be Michael Kim.
Hell yeah! Let's go, Michael Kim. That right there is the play of the century. All right. So we got Rory, Willie Z, Wyndham, Harmon, Theegala, Michael Kim for Ethan, Scotty, Tommy Fleetwood, Tony Finau, Corey Connors, Mavic Neely, and Keegan Bradley. That's like the KB Boys Club right there.
The
and
boys.
Then Colin, Shane Lowry, Akshay, Sepp Straka, Fat Reed, and JJ Spawn for myself. What a great draft. Awesome stuff. Winner gets some merch from the boys over at Devereux. I hope Ethan doesn't come in last because I know the college kids can't afford it.
I'm not gonna come in last. Don't worry.
Kids struggling to even muster up money for the calf. You kidding me? Kids making it happen. Let's jump right into our beer money presented by Kenwood Beer. Happy National Beer Day to all of you who celebrate. I know I am. After the show, I'm going to be cracking open a nice cold one. And you should too, to be quite honest with you. As you enjoy the Masters this entire weekend, just think in the back of your mind, what is the one beer that I want to be sipping on as I sit on my couch viewing a beautiful, iridescent landscape full of green grass, white quartz bunkers, a lot of beautiful water, and just that amazing piano riff every single time Scott Van Pelt opens his mouth. Welcome to the Masters. You should be drinking a Kenwood beer. He's smooth, he's clean, he's bright. Everything Augusta National is, but only better and in your mouth, by the way. He's the routine choice of folks who want a balanced, flavorful, no-frills beer that's right for any occasion. And you know what? Just like Augusta, the original, we say you can't beat it. Head to kenwoodbeer.com and use the Kenny Tracker to find where you can get your hands on some ice-cold, refreshing Kenwood beer from your favorite liquor stores in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, and, of course, the Wells Fargo Center and beyond. Must be 21 years or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. For those of you betting with us as well, please gamble responsibly. And in those states, of course, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or if you are in New York, text HOPE-NY to a certain number that I don't know off the top of my hand, but it's HOPE-NY. Let's get right into the bets this week. Make and miss the cut. It's Masters Edition, Major Edition. We start off. Who will make and who will miss the cut at Augusta National, KB?
Very fun stuff. I know you texted in the group chat. There's a promo on FanDuel for
First round leader.
First round leader. DraftKings has a bonus bet match for player to make the cut. So as soon as you place the bet to make the cut, they match your bet in a bonus bet. So take advantage of that for the Masters on those two sports books for sure. And I'm sure there's other promotions going on across the board, but those are two sports books that Steve and I use in particular. No free ads, but definitely look for your promotions this week for the Masters. To make the cut and to miss the cut, what do you want me to start with? To miss or to make?
We'll do make.
To make the cut, I know it's not the craziest odds, but I'm going to go with Billy Ho at -170.
I'm actually with you at that -170 figure, too. I got Phil Mickelson making the cut this week. The long-time Masters stud. He has plenty of experience here. He knows what he's doing. I like Billy Ho a lot to... I'm sorry, not Billy Ho. God. Phil Mickelson to make the cut at Augusta National. I'll jump in for the miss the cut. This is a pick that the fact that he is to make the cut is +100. That just shows you that people have absolutely zero faith in his ability to churn out a quality week, even though he has some semblance of experience at this golf course. Max Homa has been on the absolute biggest shit-stained skid of all time.
It sucks because we love Max.
Like, absolutely fucking sucks. And he's been horrible. And I feel terrible to just add insult to injury, but he's missed the cut in 5 straight weeks. How can I possibly not operate on this at a -130 figure for Max Homa to miss the cut?
He's -150 on DraftKings too. So anywhere right there. That was going to be my pick, honestly. But to differentiate here, I'm going to go -135. I'm going to go Johnny Vegas.
Yeah, a interesting pick. Certainly hits the ball a country mile, but might not necessarily last with the challenges of this golf course, where he's much more of a let it loose and let it rip kind of player. Top 20 pick this week. I'll let you go on this one.
Top 20. Let's take a look. See here. I also do like, if you're a fan of it, DraftKings gives you top 20 or top finish, including ties, which is also nice to kind of take a look at as well when you're betting, because then it doesn't take into account, the tiebreakers and all that. So it just flat out includes the ties, which is nice. My top 20. I mean, we've talked about how he's one of the best golfers in the world. And if you can get him at top 20 plus a hundo, I'm going to go Joaquin Niemann.
Yeah, he while I don't think he is the top 3 player in the world actively, he very well certainly could be. And if he's not top 5, I would be shocked. I do love Joaquin in the spot, but there's no person that I love more. I'm just gonna call back names. I've said all these names at some point in this show, so you know where I'm going. Sepp Straka +170. The fact that I can get one of the best players in the field, who I will be taking him on a ladder play, top 20, top 10. That's a lock for me. I love Sepp Straka at a golf course where, again, no one has been better over the last 24 rounds of golf, arguably on the PGA Tour, that isn't named Rory McIlroy, than Sepp Straka. I think the Masters is going to be the spot where he can dominate. He has 2 big wins in the last calendar year. This is his time to shine. my play here for a top 20. Your top 10.
Call me crazy. At plus 280. Give me
Crazy.
Brooks.
I mean, honestly, like, the live golfers, dude, and I say this every year, but like, it's the same. I need to start doing this list where, and I did it for March Madness, things to look at from last year that you need to follow for next year. And I feel like I never actually listen to myself whenever I go through this. You can't count Brooks out whatsoever, and a top 10 seems like a really easy play, and to get him at that kind of odds is sort of insane. So like, I don't know how you don't go with Brooks there. I actually originally had him as my top 10. I'm going to move him up to my top 5, but I'm going to move this guy down just on the odds alone. He's plus 160 for a top 10. I'm going to go Bryson. I don't think Bryson's got the juice to win. I think it's going to take another really good putting performance, and I don't know if he's quite there. That's all complete subjectivity and bias. I have no idea because I haven't watched any live, and you really can't tell anything from live with the way these guys play. What I can tell you, though, is that Bryson, when he played last year, I think this is actually the interesting part about him that makes my pick a little bit understandable. So this par 67 thing that Bryson brought up didn't hit the mark for, I believe, at least 16 rounds of golf. It took him a long time. Yeah. I think he said it in 2020. And he only hit the mark once. He shot a 67 in 2021 in the second round. He missed the cut back-to-back years. Last year, he finished T6, but he didn't play all that good. He had an opening round 7 under, which is the only reason that it got him over the hump. He then went 3 rounds over par, 1 over, 3 over, and 1 over again to basically to finish T6 at 2 under par, at 3 under par. That's probably the best you're going to get from him. He needs to be on with the putter. I think he can get there, but he needs to do better than 3 rounds above par in order to do it. I understand this is a golf course that you're going to win at 7, 8 under par. You might win with a little bit more because of those trees now and the whole shadow thing. But I can't trust Bryson for anything better than a top 10 at this point.
Top 5. I mean, not my official pick, but the fact that you can go top 5 at plus money for both Scotty and Rory is pretty fun. Plus 100 and plus 150 respectively, is pretty cool. But
is that going to be an unofficial getting the whole parlay?
Potentially. Although our parlay last week, apologies to the people that absolutely croaked. Not even before the weekend. It was horrendous.
I mean, hey, mine did better than yours. I hit 2 or 3.
It was bad. Tony Finau even let me down in a single. Top 5. Sheesh. I'm gonna go Ludwig Oberg plus 360.
Ludwig Oberg. Oh, I think he had an interview with Adidas. He was like, it's really Aubert. If you want to really get Aubert. That weird like Scandinavian bit. I've actually seen a lot of articles fading Ludwig this week, which I think is really interesting. He's been playing good golf, but certainly hasn't been playing better than this guy that you can get at very similar money. You can get him at plus 280. Colin Morikawa for a top 5. Finito. He was in the final, I think, second to last group last year. He came very close to making it a fight with Scotty. Just came up a little bit short. I really like Colin for a top 5. Our gimme pick this week. What's the layup play that everyone's got to make?
Pick. I'm gonna let you go first because I'm also managing our national championship live stream right now. But I will let you. Actually, I should be good. Give me 1 second. Let's see.
I'll do mine.
Okay.
Just so you have a moment. Death taxes, top 20 finishes. Shane Lowry, lock that shit in. Plus 105. Like I can't get any better with my picks than giving you a Shane Lowry top 20. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. If you want to cook a little more and you want to get a little funky with me, I will in fact be playing a top 20 parlay. I will be laying Colin Morikawa at -160 according to FanDuel. I'll be laying Justin Thomas at -115, and I will be laying Shane Lowry at actually he's now +120. It's $10 to win $56.
Not bad. That's not bad. My gimme pick. Let's see what I can cook here.
Let him cook.
I'm going to join you on the Shane Lowry top 20 there at +120.
Is that the official play?
No, I'm also adding in other picks, but that's part of my gimme parlay. We should just change the gimme pick to the gimme parlay.
Well, it's not a gimme,
nowhere close to a gimme.
Yeah, kind of defeats the purpose.
You know what? We'll add a segment. We'll do like the gimme pick, but then we'll also do like the risky pick of the week, like the official getting the whole parlay.
So we'll have Shane Lowry top 20, Joaquin Niemann top 30 at -190.
It's not bad actually.
And we will also have Brooks top 30 at -150 +459.
Okay.
$10 to win $55.96.
You know what we should do? I have a genius idea.
Lay it on.
Now I don't believe you can bet. Actually, you can bet. You can bet top 40s on FanDuel, but you can't bet top 30s. It's really weird.
That's weird.
One day we'll get sponsored by DraftKings, but until we can't do that. A green sportsbook, you can bet top 30s. I think a really interesting thing, we should do a ladder pick every single week. A top 20, top 30, top 40, and parlay them all together.
I like that.
I think that would actually be really cool. And I think with doing that, we should do my official getting the whole parlay for the ladder play of the week. I'm going to go top 40 pick JJ Spawn at -140. Top 30, I'm going to go Russell Henley -140. And top 20, I'm going to ride with that Shane Lowry pick, $10 to win 64.
Okay, I'm gonna join you with Shane Lowry as my top 20.
Okay.
Which is right here. My top 30. I'm going to keep Brooks at -150. And my top 40 will be Corey Connors -225 +429.
Wait, hold on. Connors is what?
Plus top 40 -225.
There you go. Okay.
$10.
I like that. There we go.
$52.96.
There you go. Those are the official get the whole ladder challenges of the week. We're going up the ladder, and if we get hot, we'll throw in top 10s at that point. Imagine one day we connect on a winner, top 5, top 10, 20, 30, 40. That would be just absolutely insane. Your winner at Augusta National, who's it going to be? Is it Shane Lowry? Like I said, is it going to be Rory like Ethan thinks it is? Who's going to win the Masters in 2025 and grace the green jacket?
Shane Lowry was my pick coming in today. And it was before any of the info you dished out. I just had a good feeling. I like the odds at +4,500 on DraftKings. It's insane. I might even just ladder Shane Lowry himself and see what happens there.
Dude, out of sheer curiosity,
you
can't
even
do that.
Parlay it, I don't think.
I can't parlay.
Yeah. You can't parlay the same guy.
That's an absolute sham.
But I love Shane Lowry's odds across the board. 4,500 to win, +550 for top 5, +250 for top 10.
It's dumb because you can ladder guys as like 3-point stats, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't do it in this. Kind of lame. I can't believe I'm saying this. I truly can't. And I've had the ticket since January, and I got him at 27 to 1. He's now 6.5 to 1. Yeah. I think Rory McIlroy is going to get the Grand Slam.
I agree.
Like, heart of hearts. Last year, going into the Masters, right? We talked about how there was no one who was like really hot. It was Scotty, and that was it. Wyndham had like a 2-week period. Hovland had like a 3-week bender, but like no one was like. Ludwig was also good. No one was as good as Scotty, and it was Scotty's to lose. And Ben and I both said it. Even you said it on this show. Scotty was going to win the Masters, and it was just it was the layup of the year. There's never been a better and easier pick in my entire life that I've been confident in making than Scotty Scheffler to win the Masters last year. There's nobody in golf who is at the level of Rory McIlroy that has been as good as him. Michael Kim's been great. I'm sorry, Michael. I don't think you're going to win the Masters. Shane Lowry's been really good. He's the only competition I see. Colin Morikawa also fits in that category. I think it's the three of them and kind of everybody else. Like, even Scotty hasn't been the absolute best in his last 4 weeks. 3rd, 11th, 20th, and 2nd. That's great for Scotty Scheffler. But not when the level of expertise that Scotty at this point in the year is, you should be winning twice, 3 times. Oddly enough, he doesn't have a win. Like, it's kind of crazy. This is the second time in his career since his first year on tour that he hasn't had a win in the first 3 months of the year. I just simply don't think that anybody else in the leading pack is going to be able to keep up with Rory McIlroy. If he can get a good enough lead and hold it, his putter's been on fire. He's been playing some absolutely tremendous golf. He's been gaining strokes in every single part of the golf course that you need him to. He's only lost strokes putting at the Genesis, and he still finished 17th. Imagine how good he'd be if he actually finished a little bit higher. He's gained over a half a stroke in every single event he's played outside the Genesis, dating back all the way to September of last year. That's astronomical. His strokes gained total numbers have only been below 1.7 once, dating all the way back to the BMW last year. And again, that was a 1.6 figure at the Genesis, solely because he lost strokes putting. He's been tremendous. There's nobody on earth right now who's a better golfer than Rory McIlroy, and that's why he's going to win the Masters. He's going to win the Grand Slam, and he's going to cement himself as one of the greatest players ever.
But is he injured? What's going on in Utah, Steve? What's going on in Utah?
It's funny because everyone called Rappaport an idiot. Some guy called you an idiot.
Dude said, "Good grief," like it was Charlie Brown.
Good grief. Whether or not you can say he's hurt, I would even take an injured Rory McIlroy just on the. And you made this point 3 weeks ago, I think. Like, has he played the course too much? Is he over preparing himself? I don't think so. I think that level of dedication and desire just shows how much more he wants it. This is the opportunity for Rory to cement himself in a spot where he knows he's the best player in golf right now. He knows he's the best player in the field. And you put him toe-to-toe right now with Scotty Scheffler, I might take Rory. The putter's been better. And the putter's the one thing that screwed him for years. He lost the U.S. Open because he couldn't hit his putts. He was gaining 1.5 strokes on the green at the U.S. Open. He finished with a .68. He lost a full stroke in 9 holes putting at the U.S. Open. That right there is the only number that I need to know. He's gained more strokes on the field than anybody on the PGA Tour in the last 24 rounds of golf. His driving distance accuracies, his distance and accuracy have been tremendous as of late. His off the tee has been off the charts. His approach figure when he won the Players was at a 2-stroke overall gain. That's the most he's had in over a year and a half of golf. This is Rory's time, man. This is it.
There's a fun top golfer prop on DraftKings as well that you can bet the top live golfer. You can get Brooks at plus 600.
I go Bryson.
Bryson's plus 360. Joaquin Neiman's plus 500. John Rahm's plus 280.
Well, John
Brooks,
Rahm's
Brooks
John
at plus
Rahm
600 is pretty
wears
tasty.
shorts, so clearly he can't be the winner according to Brandel Chambly.
You can also pick the top senior, the top debutant, the top amateur, top past champion, which gives you Scotty at plus odds.
Can I bet the who's going to win low am?
You can bet top amateur, all plus money.
Yeah, what's the board looking like there?
Jose Luis Ballester,
He's nasty.
plus 190.
That kid's fucking nasty.
Justin Hastings is plus 225.
Hastings, he's also fucking nasty.
Evan Beck is plus 230.
That's a golf name.
Hiroshi Tai is plus 550. And Noah Kent is plus 600.
Yeah, it's definitely between Hastings and the first kid you said. Sorry, he plays at Arizona State, and I always mess his name up.
You can also bet Scotty as the top USA finisher at plus 230. Which ain't too bad. That ain't too bad.
That ain't too bad. How about real talk? Can I get winner without like Rory at
yeah,
plus 550?
I was gonna say this is your weekly reminder to check live for the winner without. That is the best way to bet this. This is from about 3 weeks of analytical study on this, where I won twice by doing that. Right now, it's simply just winner without Scotty. So again, this is
actually
like,
there are multiple of them. So there's winner without Scotty, there's winner without Rory and Scotty, and there's winner without Rory, Rahm, Morikawa, Scotty, and Ludwig Oberg.
Oh, I don't have that. I just have winner without Scotty on DraftKings up in front of me.
Here in New York, we got it. Bryson's 12-1 with Xander. JT is 14-1. Neiman 18-1. Shane Lowry 22-1. That you can get him to win without Rory, Rahm, Morikawa, Scheffler, and Oberg is insane.
But yes, that is a bet that you always look at live, and typically live on Sunday.
Also, for those betting on FanDuel, I'm officially going to give you my first round leader bet that I'm going to take this week in the field. I'm going to be gunning for this guy to be your first round leader. I'm going to go back to the well on Bryson DeChambeau. Gets hot and ducks off. I think that's the play here. Folks, that's going to do it all for us here. Episode 199 of the Getting the Whole podcast. Yeah, okay. 199, right? We're inching closer to 200. Do I get a gift for episode 200?
I do have a gift for you, Steve.
She shakes her head in disgust. No.
Pending a Florida win in the national championship game, and that is a must, you will finish with the top bracket points in the company for the Florida win.
Oh, I thought I was going to win the bracket. I'm like, there's no fucking way that I win the bracket challenge.
You win amongst the company and company adjacent.
Wow. So what do I get? Do I get a FOCO gift card?
We'll figure something out.
I would heavily appreciate a gift card because those short saws are calling my name, and
you'll finish here. And simply, I think because my dad went on like upsets in the early rounds, you beat my dad by 30 points. But my dad's gonna finish second if Florida wins.
Yeah, I'm praying for the Florida victory. I'm also on the books to win my office pool if Florida wins. There was one kid in the entire office pool who picked Houston. I'm also in another bracket challenge where 18 people all picked Florida.
I need Walter Clayton Jr. to wake up. He's over in the first half.
I think people were calling him Steph Curry Jr. Get out of here. Episode 199 of the Getting the Whole podcast. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe on all the socials at Getting the Whole Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok before it gets banned, and Facebook and beyond. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite shows at Get in the Hole. And of course, leave a 5-star rating and a comment on all our pages. Shout out to our awesome partners, 47 brand, Paramount Plus, Devereux Golf, all of you folks that are involved, Acorn Hills, Kenwood Beer, and the like. Check out all of our affiliate links as well in our descriptions. And of course, Underground Sports PHI is your one-stop shop for all things Underground Sports on YouTube. Like and subscribe to that account where you can get all your news and information on everything from F1 to lacrosse to streaming to soccer, and of course here in the golf space. Plus, also, if you want all your localized Philadelphia sports, hopefully I can get back on the main pod. I got some choice words for Mr. Zach Wheeler, who deserves a lot of respect that he simply does not get. You know, he's never won a Cy Young. Crazy.
He should have won 2 already.
I mean, should have won 3. Are you kidding me? That's gonna do it all. That's gonna do it all for us here. I can go on a rant about Zach Wheeler, but I'll save it for another day. For our boy Ethan, also great segment. Ethan, you did fucking awesome. For our boy Ethan, that's KB. I'm Steve McAvoy. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the Masters, and I'll hopefully see you with a win for the Florida Gators. Thanks for listening to Get in the Hole, the official golf podcast of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Catch us every week wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and be sure to like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Get in the Hole Pod, and follow Underground Sports Philadelphia at Underground PHI. We'll see you next time. And remember, get in the hole!